Hey, it's News from Heaven, and today we're talking about love being the antidote to selfishness. Did you know that love can do that? It's kind of like duct tape. It can do a lot of stuff. But what's the relevance? Why do I care about whether or not we're getting rid of selfishness through love? I think the relevance comes in how it plays out in the mental ecosystem. And I'm just thinking about, here we are walking around in the world. And like I talk about every show, but it's always true, you just have so much negative stuff going on. There is, should we list the classics? There's doubt, fear, and low-level anxiety. There are distractions. There is, rage. All those things coming in, right, which disrupt us from the truth, from liberation. Love has got to be a part of this liberation. And I think we're going to find selfishness is somehow making this mass sticky. What exactly can we learn about it? This is Divine Love and Wisdom number 47. You can download the link in the description for free. Follow along. And we begin totally italicized, which means it's a section heading. Divine love and wisdom cannot fail to be and to be manifested in others that it has created. Right away we're talking about God. Because divine love and wisdom are not properties of God. That's what God is. And God just can't help himself. I've got to do something. What does God just have this compulsion to do? Well, the first thing is, okay, we finally answered it. Is it to be or not to be? To be. So they can't fail to exist and to be manifested in others that it has created. So we are not a side project. You could think of, sort of eternal island. You think of God radiating out like the power of the sun in space. I don't even know the planets exist, says the sun. I don't know anything around me is anything, and least of all do I care about any of that stuff. That's not really God. That actually, us being in the equation and having this divine love and wisdom come into us is an indispensable part of what God is. Okay, let's talk about love. With that as our backdrop, the hallmark of love is not loving ourselves, but loving others and being united to them through love. Okay, no, this can't be blue, because this is a big deal. The hallmark of love is not loving ourselves. What is it? Well, it's loving others, and it's being united to them through love. And here's a problem. We got a problem. We have a huge problem. Hallmark of love is not loving ourselves. If you were resonating at all with me back when I was talking about the weather in the mind and all this stuff is trying to get us down, how much of this stuff seems to be begging for us to love ourselves? Right? Isn't it my own thoughts are critiquing me and trying to make me worried about the trajectory of events in my life? Yeah, they do it all the time. They were doing it this morning. So isn't loving yourself the antidote to that? Isn't that what we're just figuring out after so much religious bullying that gets us to... So what are we talking about? Let's see, though, if we can unpack what's he addressing here. Because I often find that we read things as applies to us and our current situation, but words are a container. Words are a container that can be pointed in many directions, which is a bad metaphor because that's not really what containers are about. However, I will say, if we're going to get legalistic about it, you can point a container in many directions. So I'm sticking by it. There's so many things that can be meant by a sequence of words. Let's see if we can understand what this sequence of words means in the context that follows. And how does all of this help us in this maze. Only, I find, when we're seeking out spiritual stuff, it's only because we've been rattling around in here for long enough that we finally realize, okay, I need help. I need some assistance. Can there be concepts or principles or ways of being that, if applied, create some kind of positive effect? So let's unpack these things. The hallmark of love is also... Oh, that's not it. We're not done hallmarking love. The hallmark of love is also being loved by others, because this is how we are united. And I love that little twist, that I do think there are times when we say, let's say this principle of spirituality. If you were to picture a really spiritual person, they've got this heart. And what is it to be spiritual, to be loving? Well, you've got that big old heart inside you. You Frosty the Snowman looking person. You got that big old heart inside you. And to be really spiritual, you're radiating this love out of you. And you are acting loving to all these people. Let's say these people are here. You're touching them through love. And that's great. And then that love is coursing through you. And then you've done it. You've become spiritual. You tapped into love. But that's actually incomplete. To really be participating in love, there needs to be this return cycle. Let's say those other people's love is purple, as it always is. So there's got to be this return cycle, right? Where people are loving us back. So that right away, we're starting to address a little bit of this self-critical stuff here. Because if it was just to say, look, don't care about who you are, and don't care about the things that this stuff claims to be taken away from you. Okay, we know that part of this ultimate situation, the order that divine nature is trying to pull us into, part of that includes love coming from other people into us, right? That is a permanent feature of where we're supposed to be. I would add it's love coming from God as well. So, just know that's there. Truly, the essence, look at this. We're just throwing the gauntlet down here. We're telling you all about what divine love is, what love is. In this, we're like 2 sentences in. Truly, the essence of all love is to be found in union. In the life of love that we call joy, delight, pleasure, sweetness, blessedness, contentment, and happiness. These are all the subsets that we get from living in love. And don't sleep on this part here. The essence of all love is to be found in union. So this relates to, okay, what's the difference? What is loving ourselves? What is loving others and being united to them? Real love and all the stuff that comes from it, when we're tangled up in this maze here, what is it we're looking for? What is it that keeps us unhappy? Well, it's that we've got a deficiency of joy, right? We're not feeling enough joy. Delight, if you want to try to separate those out, I want to say bifurcate those. Yeah, if you think of this is joy, I don't have enough of that. Pleasure, another. Think of what each of those means to you. Sweetness, though, that's really something. If your life lacks sweetness, that's something that can make it feel like this sort of gray wasteland. Blessedness, contentment is definitely its own thing. I am content. That's what we're missing when we're swirled around in this. And happiness. If you think of those all not as synonyms, but as different slices of what it takes to have a composite that's the life we want, yeah, okay, that's what we're looking for. And if we're saying that's actually found in union. Okay. The essence of love. Oh my goodness gracious. How many seriously gutsy statements are we going to get in 2 paragraphs? The essence of love is that what is ours should belong to someone else. The essence of love is that what is ours should belong to someone else. Okay, I'm going to give you my wallet, and now I'm in love. There must be something more subtle about that. What do we mean? What's ours should belong to someone else? Well, I can certainly see there's definitely the feeling of, let's say you're good at something, you understand something, and somebody else is struggling with it, and you know the confidence and the relief that it will bring to that person to become competent at this thing that you're good at. I do know that the feeling of imparting that to them and watching the impact of that on them, that does feel like, wow, this is what was mine, belongs to them. And you see the connection and joy there. Maybe it's something along those lines. But then we kind of do a little bit of an about face here. Feeling the joy of someone else as joy within ourselves, that is loving. Because that's actually taking, it's not something that's ours and we give it to someone else. This is something that someone else's, and it's just about what it becomes in us. Feeling the joy of someone else as joy within ourselves. I guess that example I was just giving contains that in it, doesn't it? If I'm knowing that, I can tell this is making them happy, learning that thing in that example. And that just feels good. It just feels good knowing that this conscious being is experiencing the kind of relief, and I understand because of my experiences what that is, and just that is good. That is what it is to love God, according to Swedenborg. Then, so what are we contrasting this all with? And this is where I think we start to be able to parse this out. Feeling our joy in others, though, and not theirs in ourselves, is not loving. That's a puzzling statement. Luckily, we're about to unpack it. That is loving ourselves, while the former is loving our neighbor. Okay, we've got a definition of what Swedenborg means by loving ourselves. It may not be the same as this thing is saying, well, you're no good at watercolor painting. I am good at watercolor painting. I mean, I'm trying my best. You're not a worthwhile person. I like me for who I am. Maybe we're not talking about that. What we're talking about instead is feeling our joy in others and not theirs in ourselves. So, let's see if we get a description of that here. These two kinds of love are exact opposites. True, they both unite us, and it does seem as though loving what belongs to us or loving ourselves in the other is divisive. Does not seem. Man, I was like, that doesn't make sense. Don't forget the not. Does not seem as though loving what belongs to us or loving ourselves in the other is divisive. So we still don't really know what that means, loving what is ours in the other, but we know that it doesn't. What's wrong with this picture? Yet it is so divisive that to the extent that we love others in this way, we later harbor hatred for them. Step by step, our union with them dissolves, and the love becomes hatred of corresponding intensity. Now, to me, when I read these couple sentences here, so what is it that you can love somebody and then you hate them, and you're loving what's yours in them? I think that if I were to try to draw a terrible diagram of it, so if I've got me, and you don't just think of yourself as your own body, you think of yourself as what really makes us is what we love, right? What we desire. That is what does everything from form the actual nature of our spirit to make us choose a place in heaven or hell or anywhere along there. What we love is what's up. So if this is me, or this is us, right? Sorry to pull you into this here. If this is us, it's not just us, but it's also the things we want, the things that we are trying to get, right? Let's give ourselves a cartoonishly negative example. Let's say we want power, and we want wealth, or we want gratification of some kind, Well, we've got these other people out here, and there they are. If this is what we love, if what we really love is this stuff of ourselves, we love advancing life to situations where we feel good because we gain something that we want. If that's what is the thing that we really love the most, just circle them all. Then as we look out, oh yeah, we got to have some eyes. As we look out at these people, what we really see is what we want for ourselves. So let's say we reach out to this person, and this person always, what we're looking for is, power or reputation or something. And this person, we really like them because they always say nice things about us, or they think we're really smart and cool, right? They picture us the way we want to be pictured. So we really love them, but actually what we just love is ourselves in them, because we don't care about who they are or what they are. We care about what we can get from them. And that turns into hatred for a couple of reasons. One could be, let's say they stop doing what we want. That's one thing. Or let's say that the love of power and reputation or whatever is never satisfiable. So eventually we don't care that person says nice things. We want all these other people to love us in some way or do what we want. And so this person becomes worthless. We don't want to hang out with them. Whatever it is. What a flat, terrible example. But it's a useful little bit of illustration. I take it back. It wasn't terrible at all. It was great. It was the greatest illustration in the history. Okay. So to me, loving somebody else, you can feel like, and this doesn't feel divisive. I feel like I really like this person. I like these people, but it's really because you see them as assets to getting what you want in whatever way. You love them because they bring your love of self and love of the world what it wants. And that is not actually union, and it doesn't allow us to participate in this love. Can anyone fail to see this who looks into the essential nature of love? What is loving ourselves alone, really, and not loving someone else who loves us in return? The same thing is you use people for something. We talk about getting gratification from people. You're using them, and what are you doing? You're just loving yourself. You're loving, and it doesn't mean you love yourself like you want to put a portrait of yourself on them. You love the feelings that they can give you. And what you're doing to them just isn't really on the radar, because what's on the radar is how you feel about things, right? What is loving ourselves alone, really, and not loving someone else who loves us in return? This is more fragmentation than union, because you can just be in this bubble where your feelings get more and more of an echo chamber, and you're just not connecting with it. What are we both feeling? That's cool. Just to say that. What are we both feeling? What is the group feeling? And eventually, once you get to what's everybody feeling, and how do I move that? Because that's reality. All that is happening simultaneously. There are just a bunch of conscious beings, and we can be very happy if somebody else is very sad. There is sadness going on. So to start to think of how do we make everybody happier, that's when you actually have your eyes all the way open. That's what God is. That's that perspective. But you don't need to bring God into it. It's just what's true. It's just what's true, which, by the way, is what God is, what's good and true. Love's union depends on mutuality. And there's no mutuality within ourselves alone. If we think there is, it's because we're imagining some mutuality in others. Yeah, they're great. They like it. And why are we having this conversation in the first place? And it's important in Swedenborg, if you should ever do something as reckless as dive into Swedenborg and find something there that seems abrasive or like it's going against what you already like or demoralizing, make sure we understand why. What are we trying to get across here? What's the context? This whole thing is to point out why God is like God is. We can see from this that divine love cannot fail to be and to be manifested in others whom it loves and who love it. If this is characteristic of all love, it must be supremely characteristic, infinitely characteristic of love itself, which is God. So here, we're not just talking about be good, don't say that thing to that person, wait your turn in line. This is what God is like, that God, it cannot be sitting around as this sun that's up here just radiating out godness, because then what's God doing? God is love. What's God doing if there's nobody else? Just loving himself. And that is the opposite of what God is. That God is this union. I don't know. To me, that feels a little bit profound. And to know that is to know a couple things that I think are relevant here in this mess that we've created. So let's see if we can't untangle these dark spots. First, good thing to know is that God is love for you. That this divine love is, this not just, I think maybe if you measure up, I'd like to make a partnership with you. What God is partnership with you, if we open to it. It's an unceasing, permanent effort to make us happy forever, to give us life that's actually life outside of these cravings. And the nature of love is not just it's God. This is the nature of what the whole human race is destined for. So all these people out here, whether they bother you right now, whether they're good or helpful or harmful or whatever, eventually the whole point of the human race is to use every single node in it to surround you with love. The point is that the destiny is to be so overflowing with everything that love is: appreciation, respect, admiration, care. I wish I had more of those, but you know what's in love. That the idea of us feeling inadequate and the idea of us even getting these kinds of negative messages about ourselves in the first place, that won't last. I mean, that's not where the strategic plan is headed. And also to know that we can avoid this trap. This maze is all trying to get us so bought into this, like it's you against the world. Worry about the things we're worrying about, you against the world, you against other people. No, the world is made, all of creation is made to love us eventually. And that's where we're headed. So that can be this little bit of leverage in our day-to-day, that love is union, that God is love and everything is derived from God. And so the plan, even though things are painful and obnoxious right now, in the end, we are made to be this thing that joy and love are streaming into from all directions, and we are joyfully giving back to everyone else. And that's the news from heaven. So I hope that you're feeling the love and feeling the way in which not only are we sharing it with each other, but that's the omnipotent being has that same affection for us, and just the nature of life, because love is life. So meditate on that a little bit. Let me know, what does that do for you? Did any of these concepts, we plant a little seed? Did they come to life for you over the week or whenever? Leave a comment. Let us know. That helps us learn. And like and subscribe if you don't mind. And come check out. Hey, if you want to, okay, we did a little bit. We went into an idea here. But if you want to do that for real, if we want to really immerse ourselves in something, check out the offTheLeftEye experience. We're doing a whole weekend retreat that you can come to and hang out with all of us. There's a link and information here, so check it out. We'd love to see you there. Hope that these ideas do something. They sprout, change your life a little bit, and then pass it on. Let us know. Let everybody know. And let's get the antidote, to be public knowledge with public access to it. All right. Thanks so much.